5, 4, 3, 2.
Welcome, RoundTable family, to another exciting episode of the Sports RoundTable Trio Edition. I'm your host, Rowdy. Of course, as always, joined by my co-host, Little Bro Coop, and Big Boy rocking the background. What everyone's talking about this weekend, even though College Game Day will not be there, everyone's still talking about it because it is the Red River rivalry, showdown, shootout, whatever.
Shootout. It's the shootout.
It's the Red River Shootout is what it should be.
The Red River Shootout.
I agree as well. But first time is going to be at 2:30 in the Cotton Bowl in Dallas. We're going to have a big preview for y'all. We got a special guest coming on here pretty soon in the next couple minutes to talk all things Red River, man. It's here, boys. It's finally here. But let's talk a little. Let's catch up a little bit, man. We missed Big Boy last week. Glad to have you back, man. And there was a lot that went down this past weekend, and especially in college football.
Especially in the SEC.
Yeah. Sure. What are your thoughts on that, Coop?
Missouri's overrated. A&M is not that good. A&M needs to calm down, okay? They got a cupcake schedule for the rest of the time, and they're still not going to win. So I'm just saying, they need to calm down over there. Big Boy, you need to calm down.
I disagree.
Fake-ass Texas fan over there pulling for A&M.
No, because I'm not pulling for them, but I told you from the beginning of the year, they're good. They got talent just as anyone else in the top 10 of the country.
Oh, I'm glad their $10 million team can
you think the kids in Texas ain't making money like that?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
But we're winning too.
So are they?
This is the first time. First time in a while.
You say whatever, man. You better be ready for the Aggies come the end of the year.
No, for sure. But looking at like their schedule, like they don't have their schedule's not that hard the rest of the year, other than
they
Texas.
still play Bama, don't they?
They don't play Bama. They don't play Georgia. They don't play Tennessee. Ole Miss. They don't play any of those teams.
LSU's their only other ranked game.
LSU, South Carolina at South Carolina should be. That's not a cakewalk. But
well, in the SEC, man, you know, and I think a lot of conferences like that. It's just I think the SEC just gets that, you know, because of what they've been. But every game's tough, man, and it's going to be. Hey, man, you can only play who they put on your schedule. And and before last weekend, everyone was talking about how UT's was cupcake besides Georgia. So, and then people, you know, want to hate on Georgia because they lost their second game in freaking 3 years. And all of a sudden they're just horrible, you know, just like they're going to do to Alabama. They're going to say Alabama, they're no good. All this. I mean, the surprising part about that is giving up 40 points.
40 and never leading for 1 second of that game. They were losing the whole game.
Their offense is awesome, but
they said 40 points. Some people were comparing it. It's the classic Lincoln Riley back at OU is kind of what they're saying that team's kind of like. You know, they're gonna put up those points, but man,
we'll see. I you know, again, I think, you know, of course, every week it's the sky's falling or they're the greatest thing ever. Most teams, you know, around. So it is what it is, you know, but week by week, man. And this week is huge. This is a big week for Texas.
So. Big week for Texas. Number 4, Tennessee drops off as well to Arkansas. At Arkansas, another big one, bites the dust there. I mean, man, there was a lot, but
Texas has to go to Arkansas.
They do have to go to Arkansas.
We know what happened last time when that happened.
They got to go to Vandy.
But you know what happened last time.
They got to go to Vandy. They got to go to Arkansas. They got to go to all those places. So
Kentucky's here though, right?
Kentucky's at home.
Florida's at home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but coming up right now is going to be our special guest. Let's go ahead and bring him on in. All right, joining us now is our guy, Mike Hardge, coming back from season 1 here, joining us on season 2. You can find Mike Hardball Hardge on the Morning Kickoff with Hardball and Mark Henry now as well on AM 1300 The Zone, Monday through Friday, 7 to 9 a.m. Man, how are we doing?
We're good, man. We're good, man. I appreciate y'all plugging the show. It's
Yeah.
been an interesting journey, as y'all know. I mean, I know y'all have been following me for a while, so you've seen everything that I've gone through, the transformation, the different co-hosts that I have. But let me just tell you this: if you haven't tuned in to the show, man, y'all are missing out because Mark, not only is he the world's strongest man and a WWE Hall of Famer, he's very informative, but he is funny as hell because I
Yep.
never know what is going to come out of his mouth. So we have our producer Khalil, who's done a great job after Salty ended up taking another job. He's been looking at us because he's a young guy and he's like, I don't know what you guys are gonna say. I'm really worried.
He has his hand on that button just to
Oh,
make
that
sure.
dump button. His hand's like on that dump button all the time.
That's awesome, man. No,
But it's
we
been a lot of fun. I appreciate the plug. Thank you.
for sure. Yeah, man. I mean, I remember me and Coop growing up. I mean, we were big WWE guys. So I mean, Mark Henry was that dude growing up,
Yeah.
too, man.
Yeah.
That's
Then
awesome.
we went and watched his son at Lake Travis play.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that game?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now he's at Oklahoma. I know
Now
we're
he's
gonna
at
talk
Oklahoma.
about this.
That's right.
Now he's wrestling at
He's
Oklahoma.
wrestling, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He's gonna get an opportunity to work out with the football team in the spring. So they wanted to make sure he got acclimated. He'll be at the Red River rivalry, but I like Shootout.
Exactly.
We were just talking about that.
Yeah. So it'll be a fun weekend for the Henrys for sure.
That's
That's
awesome.
awesome.
Well, man, like I said, we appreciate you tuning in, but obviously we know what weekend it is. Game day not there. That's all right. It's still the biggest game of the weekend. Talk of the town. First time meeting in the SEC just means more a little bit now. But man, what are your, just looking back on obviously Texas coming off that bye week? Kind of just give us your thoughts on kind of how the Texas offense and defense has played so far this year. Obviously undefeated. Had the big win in Ann Arbor and some good home victories as well. But kind of, what do you think? Has there been any surprises, good or bad, for you so far this season?
Well, let's look at the offense. For us to have two quarterbacks that are more than capable of running the offense is something that Texas Longhorn fans have longed for a while now. You know, you sit back and you can always look at those years. You know, Casey Thompson, people don't give him enough credit for the things that he was able to do at the University of Texas. You look at Sam Ellinger's time from we're back to getting everybody involved again in the program and just being able to run two guys out there and having probably the best quarterback room in the country. But for Texas fans, it goes all the way back to the Chris Sims, Major Applewhites, and the Chance Mocks and the VYs. You know, that room was one of the best rooms. And then you also sprinkle in the Colt McCoy years and everybody else that was involved. But being able to run a quarterback out there when your ace, your number one pitcher can't go, and you're able to bring in somebody like that, and not only just because of the name, because you guys remember it. Everybody was talking about, oh, he's only there because of his name. And did you see the teams that he was playing against? Oh, there weren't anything. And then all of a sudden, you see the spring game, and now you see him when he gets an opportunity to play. And a lot of people obviously wanted him to be the starter, and we get it. It was beautiful to see the deep ball and the connection and everything. But the quarterback position is the most important position in sports. I mean, you think about it. If you don't have a quarterback, look at the NFL right now and how many people are dealing with not having the right guy. And then you can look at the landscape of college football. What is the number one guy that everybody goes for in the transfer portal? It's not a center. You know what I'm saying? It's not a safety all the time. It is actually the quarterback position. So for what Sark has been able to build in that position, you got to give that part of it an A+. You got to give the offensive line an A+ as well, being able move those guys around, and each week, one of the offensive linemen were able to get an offensive lineman award, whether it was for the SEC or the Good Hands team from All-State. You saw all these different areas of improvement, but you also saw the experience. Then you can flip over to the defensive side. And what was the one story? Who's going to be able to replace those guys up front? Well, they've done an admirable job of replacing those guys up front. And the biggest story was the secondary. Well, the secondaries answered the bell as well. So all in all, the team being 5-0, yeah, there's been some moments where you're like, why did that happen or how did that happen? Man, I tell you what, being 5-0 2 years in a row makes my weekends a lot more fun.
For sure. And now OU comes into this game 4-1, obviously with the loss to Tennessee. I was actually at that game. Horrible environment, by the way. Texas is a way better environment. Obviously, Texas is 5-0. What are your thoughts on how OU has done so far this season, and what are your thoughts on their change at quarterback?
Well, it goes back to your point. You start to look at it and the changes that have happened for them, and especially where they were last year. People were calling for Venable's head, and it's like, golly, dude just got there, man. Let him build what he wants to build.
Right.
And you look at all the differences that have happened. The quarterback position is something that, again, going back to what I just said, you got to be able to have that trigger guy. And what's bigger about that situation is the fact that he made the change. That's a 5-star quarterback that everybody anticipated being the guy. And for him to go in there and say, we got to make a change. We got to get this electric young freshman that can make things happen with his legs, because that offense was stagnant for a while. I mean, I got a chance to interview Jackson Arnold during the SEC media days. Great kid, great looking kid, looks the part, but there was just something that wasn't hitting in their play calling for him. And for Venables to make that call and say, hey, we got to go another direction, that's huge. Defensively, I think that's where I've seen the most improvement for those guys. They've done an unbelievable job of controlling the line of scrimmage. Billy Bowman in the back, being able to go and make plays on that backside. That's what has been the biggest calling card for this team. The defense being where they need to be is what's been keeping them in every game. So I've been excited to watch those guys play. And I don't think, obviously, we know what this weekend is. And I know they're going to dial up something good.
Yeah, I agree. That defense, I'm kind of worried about. But again, we're joined by Mike Hardge, host of the Morning Kickoff with Mark Henry on AM 1300 The Zone, Monday through Friday, 7 to 9 a.m. We know Quinn is good to go. Do you think there anything they'll have to hold back due to that injury? And what do you think his key to success in Dallas this weekend is?
Well, we've been with Sark going on our 4th season. I mean, we're halfway through that 4th season. And one thing about Sark, if you can't run his offense, you're not going to be able to be out there. And that's been one of the biggest things, because some teams we'll put our guy out there and we'll hold back a little bit. No, he wants to run the entire offense, especially when you see a guy like Arch be able to go out and do what he wants to do. If he's not 100%, he won't be out there. So I believe that they're going to be just fine with Quinn. As far as, the capabilities of this team, I think that with him at the helm, it gives this team the best opportunity long term. Yes, we love what we've been able to see from Arch Manning, but you saw some of those young mistakes. The guy that hadn't played as much as Quinn Ewers has. Quinn had those opportunities to grow up in this offense. So does Arch, but he's growing up in a controlled environment that when he does get his opportunities, he can let it rip. I don't know how often you guys are listening to the press conferences. I'm sure y'all do, because y'all know y'all's homework. Y'all do your homework and you pay attention to certain things. One of the things that Sark talked about when calling plays and getting the call sheet before the game, He was like, dang, we called up a bunch of deep balls on this guy. We called up a bunch of these things. Well, you know what he does well. Now for Quinn runs Sark offense the way that Sark wants the offense to be run. Yes, he loves the deep ball, as my former co-host Rob Babers used to say, I just need that deep ball, baby. We know that. But now Sark has elevated his game. He's adjusted his play calling, because a few years ago, all of us kept saying, why do we keep throwing deep? Now we're like, all right, when is he going to take his shot deep? Because with Quinn, the play calling is a little bit different than what it is with Arch.
No doubt.
For sure. And let me add on to that real quick. The last time Quinn Ewers came in hurt, coming back from an injury, we all know what happened when he came back against Oklahoma. The biggest margin of victory there has been in the Red River rivalry, 49-0. And I predict it's going to happen again. Go ahead, Kay, with your other question.
This guy. Well, sticking with the offense, obviously we know Sark, obviously known for his passing game, but his offense really goes with that running game. And obviously with Baxter being out, some of the other Christian Clark, Jaden Blue banged up sometimes, a lot of different revolving doors there. Obviously, what do you think that Texas run game really needs to look like going into this matchup? And how do you think the offense can really kind of take control of this game, kind of like how Tennessee did here in Norman against OU?
Well, Sark talked about the offensive run game. And again, it goes back to what I said at the very beginning. This offensive line is so mature in the understanding of the scheme with Sark. People don't ever, and I talk about this a lot, but I don't hear a lot of people talking about the camaraderie with the coaching staff and the messaging. You guys remember when every single year we were getting a new offensive coordinator, new offensive line coach, new defensive coordinator, new DC. I mean, it was just so much turnover that the messaging was getting lost. Now all of these guys understand what it's about. So that run game that we were talking about, it's never been a problem in the last few years. The problem has been holding on to the football. If Texas holds on to the football, because a lot of people were like, man, I can't believe what they did. They should have blew out Mississippi State. You're 1,000% correct. They should have blown them out. If we hold on to the football, the game is a blowout. If Jonte Cook catches that touchdown over the middle, the game is headed to that blowout area. So if Texas can eliminate mistakes, control the ball with the running game, and then take their shots from time to time, I don't think there's anybody in the country that can play with them.
For sure. Flipping on to the other side, Colin Simmons, he's shown himself a lot. He's been coming off the edge. Thoughts on his play this season, and do you think we'll see more snaps out of him this weekend with Mike Hawkins in at quarterback for OU, which is the running quarterbacks, man, they scare me a little bit. They scare me a little bit.
They scare everybody. Everybody. That's the beauty of a running quarterback. But let me ask you this. If you guys were playing a sport and you were in college and you got an opportunity to come back home and play, wouldn't you think that would be the most motivation that you would ever need?
For sure.
Yep.
That is what Colin Simmons is looking at.
Sure.
Going back to the DFW area, family, friends, you know how many people are going to be in there that recognize that kid, that knows that kid. He is one of those guys that is going to show up, and he's going to show up large. As far as Michael Hawkins running around, can't outrun this dude. This dude will get you, and he's like a heat-seeking missile. So I believe that, yes, he's going to get a lot more snaps. I think he's going to be coming off the edge a lot. And I think this is the game, as my co-host Mark Henry likes to say, I want to see some twists and some stunts coming through. This is the game that we get a chance to see all of those. I think that kid is destined for greatness. He's wearing number 11, Derek Johnson. He ain't playing in the middle, but he's coming off the edge. Everybody wants to talk about him wearing 11 for Micah Parsons. When I see him as DJ, because DJ was going sideline to sideline, and he had top speed every time.
Yeah, agreed. I think, like you said, going back home, I look for Cook to have a role this week too. But again, we're joined by Mike Hardge, host of the Morning Kickoff with Mark Henry on AM 1300 The Zone, Monday through Friday, 7 to 9 a.m. Check them out. Great show. Mike, staying with the defense. For me, the UT run defense up the middle is kind of worrisome to me. Who in the trenches, what about that? And who in the trenches do you think's been like the top dog to this point in the year?
Well, believe it or not, I had to turn my hat around because I wanted to be like y'all. So I want to. I'll take my hat off a little bit for you and me.
There you go. You gotta be
but I'll
with
put
the
it back
target.
on right there. I'll put it back on. But the big thing for me has been you start looking at the middle of the defense, and Alfred Collins has been okay, but the biggest guy for me that has played well is Vernon Broughton. Vernon Broughton has popped a lot more here in the last few weeks. You also can look at Bill Norton and his impact of being on that team, but nothing happens without Anthony Hill in the middle. Anthony Hill being able to make those plays. Yeah, you may get through that front four, but you're not getting past zero as he's moving from side to sideline as well, coming downhill. I've been very impressed with his skill set. But to answer your question, I think Vernon Broughton has finally brought it, as we like to say.
For sure. Real quick, Coop, before you go.
Yeah.
I saw it last week. Some OU reporters were talking about the Texas defense, like early scouting report, and it said how number 0 is like the worst dude on the front 7 on that defense. And I was like, I mean, if he's the worst dude, I mean, you got a problem. If you think he's the worst one on that front 7.
Like, keep thinking he's bad then. Keep thinking he's bad.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Texas is 3-7 in the last 10 matchups with Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
Not overall, though, 63-51 overall. I'm just going to throw that shot in there for everyone listening. Can you give us some keys to success if the Horns want to start chipping it away at that record and if they want to come home with the W?
Well, the main thing, and you brought it up a little bit earlier, is Michael Hawkins Jr. being able to run around and create some plays. Texas has done a really good job of getting guys to the ground when they get there at impact. They have to continue to do that. If they don't do that, it could be a long day. I think also the secondary play, I think this is the week we start to see a lot of safety blitzing. I think they feel comfortable enough with the scheme of confusing some people. And I think, too, the offense, for the key on the offensive side, they have to continue to control the football and don't turn it over. This game always comes down to turnovers. I'm a big time of possession guy, but I'm about to throw that stat out the window for this team because of the big plays that they have, and they don't have to take a lot of knees at the end of the game because teams are trying to chase them. But for me, the key to the game on offense is don't turn it over, control it with the running game, and make sure that Quinn stays upright. And then on defense, you have to make sure that you get guys down at impact. Don't let Michael Hawkins Jr. get excited about the moment. I think he's going to piss down his leg a couple times just because of the simple fact that it is loud in there. And you might have played against Tennessee, but you hadn't played against in Texas.
The real
in
UT.
the ball game. There you go. The real UT when you get those opportunities.
Yeah.
For sure. No, I like what you kind of brought up there about the safety blitzing. I mean, Texas really all year, I mean, they've been one of the back end on the SEC when it comes to the blitzing like that. So I think, like you said, there is a lot scheme-wise that's not out there on film this year with this specific team and players on it right now. So
Yep.
I think that's a big piece, especially because Hawkins is going to try and run, but just how he's built too, he can't take too many of those hits from the big boys either. So I mean, he's going to have to throw it. So at some point, and hopefully that's where the secondary will step up. Old Malik Muhammad and old Barron will get some plays, maybe a little pick 6 here and there as well. But
possibly there's always one, right?
Oh yeah. Well, kind of last question before we let you get out of here. We appreciate you coming on, Mike. Obviously, big implications going into the Georgia game next weekend in Austin, even bigger one that coming up. But taking to the Red River, score prediction from you. What do we think of going into this Saturday 2:30 kick?
Interesting.
Pain. That's what my prediction is. That's my score. Pain.
Yeah.
I think Texas rolls in this game. And the only reason why I believe that, kind of going back to what you said, Rowdy, is this is a big game for Quinn Ewers. This is a monumental moment for him. Coming back from the injury. Yes, in the past he came in, was able to, 49-0. That was great performance. But it was still one of those deals where he had something to prove. Well, now he has even more to prove because this will be his last Red River Shootout. This will be his last time playing at home as a college player. The Big 12 championship, no more. You're in the SEC. You're going to Atlanta. This is the last time you will play in front of that crowd with this type of emotion. And of course, coming off of that injury, he's got so much to prove. I think he comes out and shows out. And I don't know if it'll be the exact same 49-0 because I think just because of the big play capabilities, I think Brennan Thompson is going to play crazy football just because he hates Texas so much. I've been waiting to watch his mom on Twitter, see what she's going to say. And no disrespect to her, because I always love when she's talking trash, because what parent ain't going to support their kid?
For sure.
But it's just one of those things that I'm like, man, when you playing with emotion, you can play with emotion, just don't be emotional. And that's what Sark always talks about. So I think Texas wins big. Don't have a score prediction. I'm saving that. But I'll let y'all know, and you'll see it on my social media.
For sure.
There we go. Like you said, go check out social media. Go tune in to the morning kickoff with our man Hardball Hardge here and Mark Henry on AM 1300 of the Zone. And y'all got a little special live show in Dallas Friday I saw as well.
Man, we got so much stuff going on this week. My boy, our producer, Khalil Randall, who's done a great job. He's a Florida State fan, and now he's completely converted because we've had him on Bevo Boulevard. He's been part of this show. He's been having to work on Bevo Boulevard. So my guy's been laced up with the burnt orange. And, of course, his team sucks this year.
Yeah.
So he's really had to buy in. And I was like, Khalil, you got to buy in, dog. So he's done a good job. But, yeah, we got a show at my buddy's bar called Bar W in Dallas. We'll be doing that from 2 to 6 with my man Craig Way, Mark Henry, and Cam Parker. Then pregame show on the fairgrounds by the Old Mill Inn, just caddy corner from Big Tex. We'll be doing that starting at 11:30, and we'll be in Dallas. And, of course, Mark Henry and I are doing a show from a toy store, a vintage toy store, toy store tomorrow or Thursday from 3 to 6. So we're all over Dallas.
There we
We're
go.
going to be having a lot of fun. And you might see an appearance from Jacob Henry. I just told him he couldn't wear that OU stuff on stage.
There you go.
There you go, man.
Awesome.
We appreciate you tuning in and coming on with us. But hopefully it goes right in that beat down direction, like we're talking
That's
about
right.
there, man. But
And if y'all come up there, let me know and come and hang out with us, man. I'll get y'all some cold beverages.
I'll be there. So I'm gonna try to swing by for sure. So
All right, appreciate it.
all right, that was the man, Mike Hardball Hardge, our guy, new co-host show with the Mark Henry. Tune in if you're going to Dallas. Go to the live show Friday night and Saturday pregame if you want to. There's no game day to go to, so that's your game day. Go to the show there. Right next to Big Tex, like you said. Man, what are our thoughts on that? I like it.
I agree with pretty much everything he said. I think one of the big things, like he said, that the OU offensive line You know, they're young and
Not
their
ready.
quarterback's young. Their running back is young. Their, you know, receivers, we don't know who 100% is going to play yet, you know, as
True.
of today.
Yeah.
I just really think that, man, Texas, there's a time to really dominate. It's now. And even with their defense, I think OU's defense is legit, but I still think, man, it's time to show. It's time to really show. And that defense, our defense, to hold them
No,
to single digits, honestly, you know.
I mean, I think like Mike said, man, if you don't turn the ball over,
Yeah.
it can be ugly. 'cause
Jaden Blue.
Even,
Sorry.
hey, Quinn had the pick. Hopefully, Sark doesn't run
Yeah,
that.
don't
same
start with
first
that play again. Don't start with that play.
That's
Stupid
the
ass
thing
screen
too. I
play.
wanted to bring up too. It's like the last 3 years, like he's kind of had those little scripted first plays. Like it's either like that little screen, that little pass, or like the little
I hate that play.
Worthy.
But
I
also,
hate that
it
play.
worked with Worthy that one year
Yeah,
too, though.
Did,
So,
but
it's
you know,
either-
maybe I'm a big odds handoff first play this year. Handoff.
I hate the blind screen. I hate the screen where they fake it and he turns around,
Yeah.
just throws it.
A dude just sitting right there. Every
I'm just
time.
waiting for a linebacker to take it because it's gone. Like, but
No,
I
I
just
wanna-
hope it's not this year.
I want a Jaden Blue handoff outside zone run. He may break it, man. Can you imagine?
I think he has a lot to show, too.
75 yards.
Jaden Blue has a lot to show.
Jaden's going to be prepared, man.
He has to be.
I think Cook too. I really think Cook could be. You know how,
bro?
yeah, and you know,
in the first run in it too. He wants to make
Yeah.
his statement in that game. Obviously, Quinn. We know Quinn's going 1 and 2. Gunnar Helm. I mean, he had a big year last year, but he wants to get a little revenge from that fumble he had. He wants a little revamp from that up, man. I mean,
Trey's from Dallas too.
oh, he's gonna be running the rock hard.
Listen, boys,
They're gonna try to run over Billy Bowman.
Oklahoma's not anywhere close to ready for this game. This is a different Texas team. I don't think they're going to have any problems. The last 6 out of 7 games, the away team wearing white has come out victorious. Texas is wearing white. I'm a big superstitious type of guy.
Well, hopefully that switches eventually after this year.
Yeah, right. No, I don't think Oklahoma's ready. I don't think they know what they're getting themselves into. I don't think their offense is good enough.
I do think the offense. I mean, I hate running quarterbacks, but I really think that's their only real shot. Is if he just has like
that's
Caleb
only.
did.
I mean, they're still out receivers, right?
I mean, well,
They haven't said yet. I think
they may get one of them back, but that's going to be it.
Muhammad's got that on lockdown, though. Muhammad's got that on lockdown. So I hope
it's going to be like, I mean, last year OU won the game because of Dylan Gabriel's legs. I mean, he led the team in rushing over 100 yards.
Exactly.
Obviously, that last drive too. That was the thing too. Is
we're faster, bro. We're faster this year.
Faster this year, and the depth. Last year, Jalen Ford had his worst game of the year because he had no one to rotate out with him. That was the problem.
He played every single defensive play.
They had to try to play. So in the second half, fourth quarter especially, I mean, it's hot, man. Especially this year, starting at 2:30, it's going to be on hotter kick right away. That's where the depth's going to be big, and I think that's where Texas can get to OU too. Is on for Texas on the offense, OU's on defense. I think OU kind of has that problem that Texas had last year on defense, where those starters solid, good, but the depth behind them not as talented and can get run down very easily. So I think that could be a pretty big key as well.
Oh man.
See, I mean,
We'll see. I really think
I don't like to say beat down just because that just doesn't happen in this game. I mean, I don't care. Even the years OU was.
I've seen it. I've seen 63-3.
Yeah, when was that? 2000 what?
I don't remember when OU was rolling.
Yeah. But the thing, I mean, and that's even the thing, like even when OU was rolling in the early 2012s around then, like, and Texas sucked. I mean, these games were still one scores. Like that's the thing, man. It was like 14.5 or 14 points. Now I think it's down to started at 16.5. Like that's just the line you just stay away from that because it's just hard to. I mean, obviously this is what you expect and what a lot of people are expecting. and a lot of people kind of expected it last year too. So it's just a thing. I would stay away from the point spread there. Maybe the over or the under, but the point spread, that's scary. Yeah. 14, I think, unless it's dropped.
Yeah, I saw it at 14. Yeah.
14, yeah.
And 230 kicks gonna be different though.
That's really weird. Very weird.
Well, it's just weird because you're not used to it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's gonna be so many more people that are hammered by then.
Yeah,
And how much more time you have to drink.
It's gonna be interesting.
it's gonna be fun.
Who got invited?
You're not going?
No, hell no, I'm not going. You know why?
Why?
Because I would have been on their end zone. Not even at the 50-50 split. I would have been in their end zone. I would have died, big boy.
Yeah,
I
you probably
literally-
would have.
No, I literally would have
OU
gotten
season ticket
killed.
holders.
No, I literally would have gotten killed. So, best interest for my life.
Yeah.
And I didn't go. So, I'm watching it on TV this year.
Watching on TV this year.
Yep.
Oh, and 63-21, not 63-3.
Yeah, I
What
think the
year was
largest
that?
margin was.
That was 2012. 63-3, I think that was no, it was 66 when UCLA came in here.
Yeah.
That was bad. They
That's
called it
bad.
Route 66. But hopefully those days are over for a while.
Yeah, and you're a little. I don't know if the Cotton Bowl's a little sandy right now or something, but they were pouring some sand up here on the practice field today, and they were practicing on it. So I don't know what they're trying to do, or if they went to the Cotton Bowl and saw it was a little sandy or what. I don't know. That's just a little interesting little thing I noticed today.
with grass, you can you know, like divots, you put sand
Yeah,
in.
no, but they had like
course.
trucks. They had like big old trucks out there dumping that damn thing. So I don't know. That's just saw them in the practice field dumping it, and and I drove by later and they're practicing out there. So the sand just doesn't disappear that fast into the ground. I know it's good for the grass and all, but I don't know. I don't know if Cotton Bowl's a little sandy this year. If it's maybe helping get the crickets out. There's no crickets in the Cotton Bowl this year. They had to bring some sand in. I don't know what it is, but I just thought that was a little interesting, man. But man, I think I wanted to ask him too about, the wide receivers for OU being out. So, it's huge at the end of the day too. It's just like Texas not being able to have Baxter and those dudes fully healthy. Because you probably Trey's probably not fully healthy. Blue's probably not fully healthy.
I think they're going to be good.
But
I think the only way OU wins is if the quarterback runs all day.
yeah,
That I don't see any other. I really don't. I don't think their running game. I think I think we'll be able to minimize that. And I just think passing game. I think we can get pressure. But if Hawkins is able to run and when we get pressure, he's sneaking out and hitting for 12, 15, stuff like that. Like that's the only thing that worries me. But hopefully, like you said, we put a couple licks on him and thinks twice. And
not only that,
he's still a freshman, man.
We're so fast. We're so much faster than last year too. Like
Yeah,
if we
who do
had
you
the
want?
speed,
People in the
Who do you
NFL are
spy
fast.
on?
Michael Vick does.
Someone has to spy him, obviously. Who do you want? Who's that dude you want to spy him? You think it's Ant Hill? You want to kind of take him out of the rest of the
No.
game like that by doing that? You think it's
I like Benda.
Blackwell?
Yeah, Blackwell. If he comes in, plays more, I think he will. I think LaFau will play more. And I even think Gillaboo.
Yeah.
I think,
yeah,
if we're more confident in running a lot of like more man and stuff like that, frees him up. And if we can do that, good luck. Cause that,
Yeah.
And him and, Jade, one thing about Jade, it doesn't matter where it is. He's going to tackle you right there and you're stopping,
Yeah. Let's see. So we got the SEC Mike posted this on Twitter. So past offensive efficiency numbers, OU number 123, Texas number 4. Past defense efficiency, OU number 28, Texas number 1. Rush offense efficiency, OU number 94, Texas number 77. Rush defense efficiency, OU number 8, Texas number 18. Third down, this is where it's big, is third down offense, I think. It's going to be pretty big too. So who can get off the field on third down, but also stay on the field. OU's third down offense is ranked 130. Texas number 9. Third down defense, OU 17. Texas number 8. I think the third down is big too.
Yeah, and that's what I mean, man. On paper, it's like where are they going to really take advantage of Texas? And it's on paper you don't see it, man. But this is not a paper game. This is But I just, man, you got to go in there and win this game and win it handily. To me, I mean, there's no excuses. So we'll see. I'm excited.
Y'all want to do a score prediction now or at the end of the pod? Give you some time to think about it.
I don't know. I'll take the Horns by 17. I don't know exactly like how much we'll score and all this, but I'll take them to cover 17 at least.
42-10 or 9. I want to say single digits, so I'm gonna say 42-9.
Three field goals.
No touchdowns. Or a touchdown and a safety. They get lucky with the safety somewhere.
No safeties. Three field goals.
Okay. I'm gonna go. They win by 15. Go right over the spread, and I'm gonna go 42. What's that difference? 42-27.
They're not scoring 27 points.
I was about to say.
That'd be a lot. If
They're
they
not
score 27, I'd be worried. I'll tell you that. Because in all honesty, I mean, I don't know. Again, on paper they should not, but this is the Red River, and
No, on paper they should roll.
I mean, look what happened. Sark's first one, and that's another thing. Like Sark has experience in this game now.
Yeah.
They were rolling with Spencer. And then, Caleb came in and, I mean, what were they up? Were they up 21, 24, 28 maybe? I mean, they were up. It was like we were going to roll. That's the thing that worries me, man, is a running quarterback. I hate him. Yeah. I hate playing against him.
I'll go 38-21. So I'll increase it to 17 points.
3 touchdowns, huh?
17-point victory. Yeah, 30. I just think, like Mike said, they're going to hit a couple of those explosive plays, I think.
But who's going to hit them? Brendan Thompson?
I don't know. I think the quarterback's he's going to escape once. I mean, it's going to be really, honestly, it's going to be super, like, no matter how talented the Texas defense is and how fast they are, it's going to be impressive if they don't let him break a big run, honestly. Yeah. I mean,
he's fast.
It's just bound to happen at least once, man. I mean, like I said, if it doesn't happen, props to the Texas defense, and they roll this game 100%. But, I mean, it's just the whole game to not be able to give up one explosive run from him. I mean, it's tough.
In all honesty, I would take OU in the points if I'm gambling. But yeah, just because it always comes, I said 42-9, and I hope so, but it's always close, man. I mean, for the most part. But
you find ways.
Yeah.
Pressure gets to certain people. That's the thing too, is hopefully with Quinn,
it won't
be no pressure there.
I really don't. And with the offensive line, I mean, all of them have played in this game multiple times.
Yeah, O-line too. Okay,
the receivers haven't.
They need to be screaming in Cam's ear all week in practice, making sure his ass is not false start.
Yeah, well,
that's
they do need to. That's becoming an issue.
He's the only one who hasn't really played in there.
I mean, even though Jake has done some things, that he's had some false snap, whatever you want to call them, snapping fragments. But it's hard to hear in there, man. You know.
Oh yeah, I saw a thing today. I can't remember who posted it, but it was like only 2 players on both offenses touched the ball last year in this game. Both offenses, only 2 players, and it was like
Quinn
well, sorry, skill players.
Skill players.
Skill players, not quarterbacks. Skill players. Because you got to think.
Blue is Blue the only one,
Yeah,
or did Cook have a catch?
No, Cook didn't have anything. So this Blue's only one, and he was very limited. It wasn't very much. And their only one was their running back too, which he's not even the main starter either. I mean, they rotate 3 dudes, so it's both skill position wise. That's what's going to come down to. And I think obviously Texas has the more experienced dudes like Bond and Golden. I mean, Golden's built for. I mean, so is Bond, but Golden. I just feel like Golden's just a dude like that in these games. Like
Bond has showed he is.
Oh, well, I mean, we know Bond is, but I'm just saying, like Golden being at Houston, like hasn't really had these types, but I just feel like he is a dude like that. Like you're not stopping me. I promise you that.
Yeah. And I really, like I said, man, I really think if he gets his opportunities, Cook will make up for what happened last week. And I hope he does, man. I hope he's not a kid that they end up, like, look, we've given you the opportunities. And because he's missed a couple balls this year. And that one last week or 2 weeks ago was just, I mean, he was wide open. I don't, that was, and that's his boy. You can tell him and Manning have like a connection there. And, but yeah, I think he might, I think Sark might have a little something for the Cook package.
Yeah, I would like to see that.
Yeah, I would too. I like him, man. I hope he sticks it out.
All right. Any other Red River?
Yeah. Win or lose, sing the eyes of Texas this time, everyone.
God, here we go.
Like in Jay Witt.
Jay Witt and Worthy are supposed to be there.
Good.
They tweeted that.
Don't you ever say anything bad about Jay Witt. I will smack you sideways.
They've seen the eyes of Texas last year. That's damn sure. But yes, that is the last thing I'll add. Win or lose, you booze and sing the eyes of Texas.
Jay Witt supposed to be there. Hopefully he's not too hurt from. I don't know. No, I never even saw what happened when he got hurt late Sunday when they took him to the locker room early. I never saw they posted anything, but they're on the bye week. That's the nice thing is those dudes, like, they just pray that their bye week's going to end up on this weekend so they can go, because that's the only way they can go.
Yep.
We'll see.
Or they're more worried about making money and winning.
Those dudes, it's just a quick one-day trip, private jet trip, bring whoever they want on their private
jet.
Yeah.
Maybe Worthy. I don't know if my boy Jay Witt is taking PJs. I hope he's not. I hope he's saving his money.
Depends on if he's bringing someone from the Rams, higher up salary dude or something like that. You never know. Some of those dudes may tag along. Some of those dudes may tag along with Worthy. Maybe Pat Mahomes and Kelsey want to get away for a little boys Saturday. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe
Micah Parsons and Tyreek Hill showed up to the first Texas game. Like, maybe Taylor Swift shows up. Which
I don't think you're gonna see Pat Mahomes there, brother. I think he cares about this one. But hey, man, maybe T Swizzle will rent one of her jets and get a booth or get a box. And
I keep trying to tell Ella, I'm like, bro, she's gonna show up.
She ain't showing up. She probably in Tokyo doing a concert or something.
No, well,
they were trying to force feed him yesterday, weren't they?
Oh, they did.
We needed him to hit a touchdown too, and he didn't. Thanks.
Yeah, I know he was close. I thought he was going to keep that read option that he gave Worthy, but the Worthy one did give me a dub in one of my fantasy leagues by him scoring that touchdown.
I lost by 1.
I respect his mother too. She has talent. His mother has talent.
He does. I lost by 1 in fantasy.
I got smoked. I'm done with this.
I lost by 1. And Kamara had 3 targets in the last drive. All he had to do was catch one of them. He didn't.
Yeah, well, boo-hoo.
Well, let's look around. Let's look around the other college landscape real quick. 2 other games, big ones that we should talk about, because we're a sports podcast, We're not just a Hook'em podcast. We're a sports podcast.
We should be a Hook'em podcast.
We talk everything.
We should change to that.
Yeah, but you don't follow other Texas sports. That's your problem. So we can't do that. You
I
love
do too.
all the other stuff. No, you won't.
You're rooting for
Um,
Texas Tech.
The over-under is 49.5, by the way.
Of the Texas game,
Mhm.
49.5.
The spread's 14. So let's do the math real quick.
Interesting.
49. I mean, that's like for a 35, 14. Gets it right at that. The spread and the over under 35-14.
I could see that.
Yeah.
It's probably what they're thinking. But other two games, we got obviously College Game Day, and I love it because they're both 6:30 games, man. So won't miss out on the action. Obviously, Game Day. Number 2, Ohio State now at number 3, Oregon. Ohio State -3 going over to the coast, man. What do we think about that game?
I haven't been impressed with Oregon lately. I think to be honest, I think Ohio State goes into Oregon and beats the dog crap out of Oregon. I'm not a big
Like by
Oregon
double
fan.
digits.
Yeah, I think they beat them by at least 10. Yeah, I do.
Ohio State beat Oregon by at least 10.
Yeah,
I think so too.
yeah. I just haven't been impressed with Oregon. I mean, like,
How many
they've had
times
a
have you
couple,
really
like-
sat and watched them?
I have.
Okay.
I mean, they beat Boise State by 3.
Yeah,
Boise
that
State has the
running back
best
from
running back in
Boise
the
State, yeah.
nation, but he's pretty good. But no, just like I don't know. I haven't been impressed with him lately. So
That's
Yeah.
a big game for them. I mean, how many Big Ten games have they played? 1 or 2?
yeah, Michigan State and is UCLA and
Yeah,
UCLA, yeah.
yeah. Those
That's
are the only
still-
2 they've had.
That's not like a
No, this is the first true
No.
like
And they
Big
really
Ten
don't-
matchup here.
Bro, and Oregon's schedule, I mean, it's a pretty decent breeze. I mean, they got Ohio State, then they're Purdue's terrible. Still don't know how Hudson Card's starting. Then they got
Hudson Card.
Illinois, who's ranked 23, so that's okay. Played good against Penn State. Then they're at Michigan, who knows what Michigan's going to be.
Just
So
lost
their
to
quarterback
Washington.
now. Then Maryland, Wisconsin, and then Washington to close out the year. So I mean, it's not as challenging as if they can somehow sneak out a dub against Ohio State, man. But I don't know.
I don't think so.
We got the matchup predictor analytics. Ohio State 64.2% chance to win.
That's just outright though.
Yeah, outright 64. Texas and OU is 85. Texas is 85%. So I will say the other, was it last year? I can't remember if it was last year or 3 years ago. It was like this Texas was favored, but the analytics predictor had it flipped, had OU favorite percentage wise to win. So I like the ESPN analytics predictor. It's right a lot of the time.
Just can't have turnovers, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Quinn had a pick and a fumble last year.
Yeah, we need the second half Quinn all game. Second half Quinn all game. Shoot, they made it put up 70 on these fools.
Well, Venerable's going to have something for him. I can guarantee you that. So
So yeah, they're gonna try and
But
This is a
Sark's gonna
great
have
chess
something for him.
match.
yeah,
With Sark and his offense, and then Venables and his defense. It's great.
because Venerable's like has his defense like in there now, like, and he has,
And Sark has his offense in there now.
yeah.
So
You have a linebacker that can, knows it all now, and
yeah.
I don't like him, but I like him, man. Danny's a dog. He's I like watching him play.
That's
Yeah.
funny. All right, then the other big SEC game, number 9 Ole Miss at number 13 LSU, 6:30 on
Ole Miss minus 3.5.
Ole Miss minus
Thanks.
3.5.
Yeah.
That is correct. 67.7% analytics wise. What do we think there? Going into Baton Rouge night game.
That's the tough part.
Yep.
To me, Ole Miss, I think they should roll, but going into, Death Valley at night, it's tough, man. Them Cajuns get drunk and get on that moonshine and some damn crawfish.
I think we just really don't know who LSU kind of really is, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, first game of the year, lose to USC by 7. And then
Beat South Carolina
beat
by
South
3.
Carolina by 3 at South Carolina. And other than that, I mean, they haven't played anybody. So
Yeah.
they played Nichols, UCLA, South Alabama. So it's going to be interesting for LSU, real telling if they're one of those top 15 teams in the upper half of the SEC, or if Ole Miss can continue to bounce back and be dominant like they're supposed to be.
Yeah, I like Ole Miss. I like Lane Kiffin. I liked how they bounced back from the Kentucky loss into South Carolina. They held South Carolina to only 3 points, which is big for their defense. And so I like Lane, man. I'm a big Lane Kiffin fan. So I'll go with them to go into Baton Rouge and beat LSU.
Y'all see the Lane Kiffin interview, his post-game interview? It was going on while Vandy.
When he was watching the game. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
It's like it's a once in a lifetime thing.
He was like, how many timeouts do they have?
Yeah.
That's funny. Big boy, what do you think? Ole Miss or LSU?
I like Ole Miss. But again, it's hard to play there at night. That's I just hope LSU beats A&M later on in the year.
I know, me too. And South Carolina. I hope they both beat them.
Yeah, because LSU
Puts them right out of the conversation.
They play A&M on the 26th. LSU does at A&M.
Yeah.
And then who else? LSU plays Bama, but they're at home versus Bama. And then their last game is versus OU, which is at LSU as well. So LSU's got some games.
Kind of off the point. What do y'all think about these kids redshirting? And just so they can get another year of eligibility, man.
I saw that.
It's going to end up happening to some big timers. Yeah. I can guarantee. Like, all this it's kind of like, it starts at guys who are like, yeah, what I mean, the quarterback for UNLV, that was big, but also like reports were like they love the backup more than the starter and that kind of and he balled out. But
I mean,
that's interesting, man.
I mean, those dudes who have been doing it are dudes who really haven't been playing as much as they thought to. I still think it's stupid because like you still stay when you can at least get your reps, bro. Like,
but Bear Alexander, no. I mean, like, to me, Bear Alexander, why don't you just play this year and go pro?
Yeah.
That's what makes no sense at all to me about him.
Yeah, put up
like you're playing in the Big Ten, you're gonna get your reps. Like you can go pro after this year if you are good. I guess he wants to go to there's not many bigger schools in.
Yeah, he was already at Georgia.
Yeah.
Georgia.
They said that kid's been to 7, like in the last 7 years, he's been to 7 different schools, including high school
jumper too. Yeah, big. Yeah. Remember, he was a big high school jumper.
That's crazy.
He might come to UT. I'll take him.
Yeah, you can just either go to the NFL or come to UT.
But that's the thing. Like, why not just finish out and I mean, he has athletic ability too that's going to help him in the combine. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of weird that he did. I don't know.
Well, it was like the Bama D tackle.
I saw that one too.
In his post, he was like, the season didn't go as we wanted it to. Like, bro, it's week 5.
Yeah.
Like, maybe didn't go how you planned on going by not playing every down. Sure. But I mean,
was it before the Vandy game?
No,
after.
It was after the Vandy game.
But
12 teams make the playoff now, man. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
And I mean, he's a backup too. But that's the thing is like, sure, you want to enter the portal, but you ain't going to play for the next 4 months, 5 months. I mean, some teams may not want to pick you up because you ain't throwing some pads around in practice at least against these teams. Like, I think it's stupid.
I think some of those kids might already have like the back channel type deal. I don't know though. I mean, like I said, with Bear Alexander, I don't know like what exactly he was doing this year. I know how hyped he was and what he did at Georgia, and he was going to leave last year USC and then ended up staying. And then just to do that, it's like play your last 8 games or whatever and go pro. Like
wasting time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get it. I do not get it. But any going over to the NFL. How are we feeling going to the NFL, man? It's the season's been interesting. There's a lot of teams that are like 3-2 or 2-3 this year. It's a little different year, man. I mean, let's see how many 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 teams are either 3-2 or 2-3. 20 out of 32, man. I mean,
what if Sam Darnold takes Minnesota Vikings to the promised land?
They just made the Jets look bad, so I don't know. We talked about that.
I love Aaron Rodgers. That's my boy. But to me, a lot of this season is on him. Like, and you see the reports. I mean, I think you sent it to me that supposedly they were going to fire the offensive coordinator, and Aaron got on the bat phone.
Yeah.
For 1 year though, I guess he still might come back next year, but I don't know, man.
Interesting. It's interesting. Let's see, I don't even know.
I mean, he had 3 picks against the Vikings.
Yeah.
So
Cowboys got a big one at home.
Detroit, right?
Yeah. Detroit. So then, like the college landscape's been so good, bro. It's just like I don't know if I like college that much more, but I just feel like how college has been, like even on these weeks where people are going into the weekend, like this past weekend, and what was it?
Thought it was gonna be boring as hell.
Like you think it's just gonna be boring? There's only one ranked game, and then all this shit just happens.
I've always loved college more, and plus you'll see as you get older. I don't know. I think it's just like you don't have as much time. It's like, who do I want to really watch? But got stuff to do. But yeah, man, it's a good season. Both. I mean, what about the Patriots benching Jacoby?
Starting Drake May against my
Texans
get that. This week.
Yeah, I thought they were going to let it go on later. I mean, I know the Patriots been struggling. I mean, you just lost to a Dolphins team without a quarterback, but
God, they suck, huh?
Yeah, I thought that they were going to at least let him keep going. Maybe they think he's ready. I guess I don't know. I was pissed that I benched Stevenson in fantasy because they said they're going to bench him and have him come off the bench, which he does, and he decides to have his pretty much best game of the year. Run all over the place and scored their only touchdown. But
boo-hoo.
Yeah, I told you Rico was going to get over 10 carries.
Yeah,
blew that shit out of the water. They
but then it hit the other 3 picks, so it doesn't matter.
They got that. I'm not talking about that. They got the big boy.
That was a good W though against the Steelers.
Yeah,
that was a good W,
bro. For him to run against like that against the Steelers,
oh, yeah, for sure.
They started pounding the rock in the third. I know.
Did you stay up for the whole thing?
Yeah.
Wow.
I did too.
It was like
good for y'all. Y'all see y'all.
Big boy, you're getting up there. You can't do that anymore.
Hey, it was 10:15. I said, I ain't staying up till 1 o'clock watching this game, bro. I'm going to bed.
That's funny. Yeah.
I guess I'm not a true fan, man, but I was like, I'm not ruining my week.
You would have stayed up.
Huh?
If it was Texas,
100%. Texas, I'll stay up till 3 in.
Like that. If can you imagine if, for like instance, the Miami at Cal, like that's a 10:30 kick for people in Miami for fans. 10:30 p.m.
Well, when I was in Florida, there was a night game, but I mean it was the weekend, so who cares? If it was the weekend, I would have stayed up, but
Sunday.
Yeah, I got to start my week off right, boy. I can't have no messed up schedule now. It's gonna old grumpy bear all week, you know.
Yeah,
You
that's
don't
what
need that.
happens. That's what happens when you start getting older. Me, it's like whatever.
Yeah,
But
yeah. And then you sleep till 2 o'clock the next afternoon. I don't have that opportunity.
I don't sleep till 2. But yes, that's
Yeah, you do.
No,
Yeah,
I
you
don't.
do.
I can't do it
Noon.
even if I tried.
Noon.
No.
That's funny.
Oh.
Yep. Y'all got any other? I don't really care
That's it,
about
man.
NFL this week.
I'm excited.
NFL's
I'm hungry. I got to go eat.
Me too. Me too.
Go eat. MLB playoffs. They're going.
Who cares?
We'll talk about that next week once some of these they get
Well,
later on. But I hope the Mets lose.
What about the WNBA playoffs? What are we looking like there?
I saw Caitlin Clark's playing in some golf tournament, so they're going to try and get that on TV now. They're in the semifinals. The Lynx and the Sun.
Look that up real quick, huh?
Their series is tied 2-2.
Yeah, I can tell when you're looking stuff up on your phone, by the way.
The Liberty are already in the finals.
Whoa.
They already won. They won the series 3-1.
Against who?
The Aces. They knocked off the defending champ, back-to-back champs.
High flying action.
Liberty, baby. Sabrina. She's ready to get a ring.
She didn't have any?
Nope. She don't have none. She don't even have one on her left hand either. There you go, Coop.
No. No. No.
Well, anything else, boys?
No.
Big boy, you're gonna have a great weekend, man.
We'll see, man.
Excited for you.
Thank you. It's going to be interesting.
This should be interesting. It's gonna start getting interesting here in just a little bit.
Speaking of sleep, there's not going to be a lot of that.
I'm saying, you gotta get used to it now. You'll be able to watch these late night Cowboy games.
He'll be up anyway.
You'll be
Yeah.
ready to go. I mean, Big Boy's about to be a grumpy old man in these mornings. That's the thing. Big Boy don't get his sleep. He turns into like a little 60-year-old guy who didn't get his little 10 hours.
Well, plus I got to wake up early, man. I wake up early every day, man.
Well, I know. It'll be all right.
No.
It's going to be
Win.
cool.
Y'all,
Win, man, win. Let's go.
Y'all catch me on TV Saturday.
Yeah. I'm not gonna catch you on TV.
I'll
But
be in a suite.
um,
All you can eat, all you can drink. That's what I'm talking about.
So you telling me you wouldn't have wanted to go to that?
I would have gone to
He
that.
wasn't invited to that. So.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, no. Hold on. Time
Oh,
out,
okay.
30 seconds. He did get a +1, actually.
Well, he's taking his fiance,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Well, that's what you get, man. It's not her. It's not her family that's doing it.
No, it's
That's his work.
yeah. It's
Oh,
not with OU. It's with like Learfield, the company that I'm technically employed by, since they're based.
Yeah, no, I would do that. I wouldn't go
Sweet up
sit
there.
in
yeah.
Oklahoma's end zone.
I'd
though.
say so.
I would not go sit in Oklahoma's end zone though. No shot. No
Yeah.
chance.
Well,
No.
I'll,
Because you know me, big boy. Big boy, you almost had to protect me from a fight, and we were on the 50. We
Yeah.
were on the 50 last year, and you still almost had to protect me.
yeah.
Think
Yeah.
about what it would be like if I was over there. Come on.
Because there's nowhere to go.
Nowhere to go.
There was UT fans around us at least.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Can't do anything if you're on that side, though.
Mm-mm.
Nothing.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, I'll be I'll send y'all some game by game updates.
Hopefully
Right.
it's a
Send
different
us a
outcome.
picture in your OU shirt too. I want to
I
definitely
won't
see
be
that.
in one. Relax.
Throwing the horns down.
I won't be in one. Relax.
Yeah.
I will leave this podcast personally if I ever see you throw the horns down. I
guarantee it's happened.
Oh,
No shot.
it's never
No
happened.
Guaranteed.
I make sure in softball when we got 2 outs, I always do it. There you go.
Do it this way though, like two. See that?
I
Yeah,
mean,
do-
sorry, it was reflecting the wrong way. My bad.
Uh-huh.
I see it the other way. Well,
Hopefully it's a different different outcome than last year. Man.
It will be. We're gonna roll.
I hope so.
all right. Well, y'all have a great rest of your week. Tune in. We'll have our reactions, of course, next week to what goes down, of course, in the Red River Shootout. Right, Coop? Shootout.
Shoot
All
out.
right. Red River.
Make sure
Shootout.
y'all check out Hardge and
Days.
make sure you check out the WNBA playoffs for Cade because he's all into it.
Go check out Hardge with old Mark Henry, man. Well,
Yeah.
maybe we'll have to get Mark on one time. Yeah, get a little
Good
duo.
luck.
Duo.
Do you think us three together could beat him in an arm wrestling?
Ooh. Us
No.
three together beat him.
I don't think so. He was the world's strongest man. There's no way.
Coop's
No.
Yeah, but
weak,
there's
man.
3 of us.
Coop would be like a fly on that. It wouldn't matter.
That's not true. I beat you.
We'd have to have Cade, I think, here, then Coop pushing and me pulling. And I think, because I got a strong back, I think I could really, help out with that.
I don't think we have a shot, to be honest with you.
And
But then
Big
he'd
Boy would
break-
be on the IR for about 6
I think
months.
you'd be the one on the IR.
Yeah, my
Break
elbow.
your arm.
Yeah, because when he tears that elbow off, bye-bye, Tommy John.
Oh man. Well, y'all have a great rest of the week. Appreciate you tuning in this week to the Sports Roundtable Trio Edition. We'll see you next week, hopefully on the right side of things. But until then, peace.
Welcome.